Hello my loves, how are you guys? I hope you are doing amazing. It's your girl, it's your favorite person, Miss Jade, and I am back with another video. Thank you so much for clicking on this one. And today I really am just going to be talking about my life, how everything is going, my spiritual journey, just how I've been feeling, because I've just been feeling amazing lately, and I just want to share how great God is and how blessed I am. So if you want to hear that, and just keep on watching, but first make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up. Please make sure you guys like, you comment, and you subscribe. Join the family. Hit the red button down there. Once you do that, a bell will pop up. Once you hit the bell, then you're notified every single time that I post a video, because why would you want to miss video? I don't think you would. You shouldn't want to miss video, so hit that bell button. Follow me on all my social media. They're linked in the description box below, so then we can stay connected outside of YouTube and keep our conversation going. And yes, let's get straight into so hello, I hope you guys are doing amazing. I have just been blessed. I am blessed and I am highly favored, and I have just been going through life, and I have just been feeling amazing and so grateful and so thankful for the place that I am right now and where I am spiritually, mentally, physically. Mentally, I am so blessed and thankful to be here, because months ago, like around October, November, I was in the opposite place. Like right now, I am just so light and free, and back then I was just so heavy and dark and in a really bad place. And so it is just a blessing, a true blessing, to be able to be here and sit here and to tell my story to you guys. But just know that I have totally transformed in all aspects of my life, and to just be in a more positive place, and walking in my purpose and seeing things how they're going to play out, because I'm looking to God, because he's the one who has vision for my life, and I can ask him to help me with that vision. In October and November, I was in a toxic situationship. It wasn't even a relationship. That's even that's even worse, because it wasn't an actual relationship. I was in a toxic situation with someone, and it showed me a lot of things about myself that I didn't necessarily realize that I had to work on, when it came to just things that I didn't even know that I wasn't dealing with from childhood trauma, which is a real thing. And I think it's really important that we learn those things about ourselves, and we address them about ourselves, and we're working on doing the work when it comes to dealing with that, so that it doesn't affect us and doesn't continue to affect us in our adult lives, because it's very true on the things that happened to us as a child, those traumatic experiences, how they play out in our lives later on. So, but we have the power to control that. So I've just been realizing the things that I dealt with in my childhood that I didn't deal with as I've started to grow up and become a young woman. So that was just one of the things that I was realizing when it came to that relationship. And so I ended up getting in a dark place, and I didn't feel motivated to do anything. I didn't want to go to school. I didn't want to do my work. I didn't want to get out of bed. I really just wanted to just lay there and watch Netflix and just be on my phone and not really doing much, not really being productive. And I don't think I necessarily noticed it in the moment and knew that it was like I had hit a wall of depression, but I did, and I can say that now. And then in November, I had started seeing a counselor. I was just talking to her about those like childhood traumatic experiences, and she kind of gave me some exercises to do. But then I also had just like been seeing on TikTok a lot of spiritual videos, and just talking about like meditations and things about your childhood trauma, and just like some of these different prompts to do to work on yourself. And so those had just been popping up all the time, and God speaks through media. And so I'm like, okay, this is interesting. This is resonating with me. These are things that I can do. So I started doing that. And then all of a sudden one day I just was like, I haven't meditated like in a while. I did it when I was in high school, and I meditated. I did a 10-minute anxiety meditation. And when I tell you, that was like one of the first steps, one of those first times that I had just felt at peace, and I just felt free, and I felt lighter only after just doing a 10-minute meditation. And I just was like, oh my goodness, like this is where I needed to get back to. This is how I want to feel. I want to continue feeling like this. I want to feel light. I want to feel free. And so I had just been seeing more spiritual videos, and then just listening to my sermons and everything. And then around December 21st was the day, everybody was talking about like, we're going to get powers. Black people are going to get their powers. But December 21st, the real like meaning was it was like the day for a lot of like people's spiritual awakenings to start. And they were just saying it was a great day to manifest and, visualize the life that you wanted to have. And so that day I had it all planned out how I thought my day was going to go. Like, okay, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to meditate, and I'm going to manifest, and I'm going to do this. And my day went the total opposite. I had a really bad panic attack. I really had a really bad, basically a nervous breakdown, just about things that were going on in my family, and just there's so many things were going on. And so I was just having a really bad anxiety attack to the point where I couldn't meditate, I couldn't focus. And so I'm like, oh my goodness. So then I was just like crying, and I was like trying to pray for myself, but I really couldn't do it. And so I asked my granny, who is my prayer warrior. So I go to her and I'm like, Granny, I need you to just pray for me. So she lays her hands on me, and like I can feel God's presence on both of us. Like she's praying for me, and she's feeling it, I'm feeling it, and we're just there. And after that, I felt lighter. It was another moment where I just felt lighter. I felt better. And I just kind of feel like that was one of my last moments that I really have had anxiety, because she was saying, like, we release it, we don't claim it. And so that was just, I feel like that was really one of those last moments that I had anxiety, because after that, I finally got to manifest, and I got to meditate, and I felt lighter, and I felt at ease once again. And then it was just like after that day, just things were just starting to just align themselves, and everything was just making sense, and I was just beginning to change. Literally, it was just like a change, and I just kind of wish there was like, I guess that was one of those moments, but like it was just literally just kind of like not overnight, but like just the transformation just within like all of me. I just felt different. Like I just woke up in a different feeling, and it's like it's hard to explain, and I kind of like I don't even have the words to explain it, because it was just a surreal feeling, a surreal moment where I just felt lighter. I just felt better throughout the days. So then I come back to Georgia, and before the new year, and I'm realizing that I've always like noticed people's energies, but I didn't realize how important it was, or like how big it was that I could feel like other people's energies. And so I was in an environment where I didn't know everybody, and I didn't necessarily feel safe, because I could feel like the energies were kind of off, like everybody's energies were different places, and I didn't feel safe. And it was to like bring into the new year, and I'm like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be in a space where my energy is not protected. I don't feel safe. And so I had to leave, and I had to remove myself, and it was something that I was noticing. And I'm like, okay, well, I have to protect my peace and my energy at all times in 2021, because I can't pour into other people the way that I'm supposed to, and give back and inspire and tell my story to other people. I can't pour into other people if my energy isn't aligned, if I'm not balanced within myself. And so I came home and just got into my own space, and I had recently saged my room, and I had got the toxic energy out, the people's energy that I didn't want in my room anymore. And that was even before I knew I was going to go home and like start my spiritual journey. I didn't know that was going to happen, but something had told me to just sage my room. God works in mysterious ways. Like, listen to your intuition, and that's something that I'm learning as well. So something had just told me to sage my room, and I'm glad that I did, because when I came home, I felt lighter as a person, because I had let that toxic energy in the past let go. And so my room reflected that as well. It felt lighter. It just felt easier to breathe in, and it's just like I've had to really learn to protect this is my sanctuary. I have to protect my sanctuary as well, because this is where I sleep. This is where I'm spending majority of my time. I need this to be a safe and a sacred place. So when I had saged my room and let that energy out, and I felt different, it was another surreal moment. I'm like, okay, this is just matching how I feel. And even my roommate said that the energy, like the room felt different. It felt lighter. And I'm like, wow, like it's crazy. And so I've just been really beginning to get more in tune with myself and listening to my gut and my intuition, even if it's just like for small things. Like I was noticing, like for small things, I would be like, I don't need to drink this drink right now, but I would still drink it. And then later on it would play out on as of why I shouldn't drink it. Like I went to go get a drink and I shouldn't have got it. My brother's like, why are you drinking that drink? You don't need to be drinking soda. And I'm like, something told me not to do this, but I did it anyway. So I'm like, if I'm not listening to myself for small things, what's going to happen if it's a really big thing? And I'm like, I shouldn't do this, but I'm going to still do it anyways. And that was something that I didn't even know that I had already been doing, because back in March, something was telling me to leave that toxic situation, to leave that person and not continue to go with it. But I just overlooked it for whatever reason that I had overlooked it. I overlooked it and I continued to do it anyways. And then it played out and I ended up being in this really dark space. And I'm like, God was telling me, my intuition, I knew I was telling, like, something was telling me not to do it, and I still did it anyways. And then it played out and it showed me why. And I don't regret it, because I know and I believe everything that happens for a reason. And I needed that really bad situation to get me to the amazing place that I'm in now. And I'm only growing. That's the beautiful thing about it. It's like I'm growing every single day. Every single day I learn something new about my spiritual journey. God showing me a different sign. He's showing me something else. And every single day I just feel even better. And even on the hard days, I still can look to him and know that he's got me and that he pulled me from that dark place. So even if I'm having a bit of a bad day, I'm not feeling as light as I usually do. I'm still knowing he's there and he's got me, and that he's brought me from worse before. And it's just like, this is nothing, you know? I'm just kind of at the place where I'm like, okay, well, things that used to affect me in the ways that they did and like they used to get to me, it's like, okay, that's nothing compared to what I've been through. And it's just an amazing feeling, and it's a blessing to just know that I'm growing, and knowing that even just in a short amount of time, just from, you know, November to March now, I've grown so much. So when it's just like, if I'm doing this and I'm being consistent with my work and looking to God and trusting in him and knowing that he has everything planned out, and just continuing to pour into myself with the things that I need. So the books that I'm reading, the podcasts that I'm listening to, the meditations that I'm doing, the yoga, like pouring into myself, then I know that I can pour out into others the way that I'm supposed to, and inspire and give back, and walk in my purpose the way that I'm supposed to. So it's like, if I continue working on myself and looking to God and working on my spiritual year, and like Pastor Todd said, this 2021 will be your best year yet, if it's your best year spiritually. And I'm only in month 3. And it's only March 5th, and I know that this will be my best year because I feel so different. I feel so light. You know how just people say like I'm high off life? I am literally just high off life, elevated, just floating around. And like either other people have noticed it. Like my roommates will tell me, they'll be like, yeah, you're glowing. Or my roommate Kayla, she was like, you even look like you just look like a butterfly, like you're just floating around. And I love butterflies, and I'm like, it's even more rewarding to like hear it from other people, that I look on the outside, I reflect on the outside what I'm feeling on the inside. Because on the inside, I'm just feeling so light. I'm just like, whoo, like I just feel great. I just feel amazing. I feel grateful. And then to see it on the outside where people are like, you look refreshed, you look glowing. It's just like, wow. And it's like, when I said physically, like I've been losing weight and I've been going to the gym, and in the first 3 weeks of January we did 21 days of prayer and fasting. I did it with Transformation Church, and that was just another experience within itself, where it just also continued on my journey, because I wanted, after that 3 weeks, I wanted to be able to look to God, and I wanted to be able to hear his voice. You know, I always speak to him, but I don't necessarily realize that I didn't actually hear him answering or like telling me what to do. And so within my 3 weeks, that was my end goal. I just wanted to be able to hear God's voice clearly, and I know that I've gotten closer to that, and I have. And it's just an amazing feeling knowing that he is really, I'm getting closer to him. Our relationship is getting stronger and stronger every single day, and that's all that I can ask for. And that if I'm looking to him, he will show me the things. It's like those things that I've had in my head, those goals that I've always had ever since I was a little girl. So I don't have to worry about how they're going to get checked off. I just have to look to him and trust, because he's the one who put them in my head. And I remind myself that all the time. He's the one who put that vision of, yeah, you're going to speak and you're going to inspire and you're going to motivate people. And I've already checked off some of those things, like some of those mental goals that I put in my head. I've already checked those off, and so God's just continuing to show me the things that I can just continue to check off and continue to do and to give back. And it's just an amazing feeling, and it's a blessing. And I've had so many, like, also just like with my angel numbers and confirmations, and it's like I'm seeing 111, 444, 333, and looking at those meanings and seeing like my spirit guides and the divine are really working. Everything is working together, and it's aligning themselves, and I can just know that I will fulfill my purpose that God intended for me on this earth. And if I have multiple purpose, I will be able to walk at all of them and give back and inspire and share the way that I'm supposed to, and spread love the way that I'm supposed to, and emphasize the importance of community, and do all of the things that I'm intended to do, because I know that I'm in a better place than I was, and that I'm only going to grow. And it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be a walk in the park. But as long as I'm trusting in God, and as long as I'm listening to him and I'm obeying him, that's all that matters, because he's the one who's going to make everything plan out. I have to look to him. I have to trust. I have to believe, and I have to receive it. And just knowing that I'm at that place, and I'm in a whole different place. It is just a surreal feeling, and it's just an amazing feeling. And I wanted to be able to sit here and just share my story with you guys, and just share how times can be really hard. And I was in a really dark place, and I never thought that I would get to that dark place, and I never saw it coming. But to be in I don't even know if, like, it's resonating with you guys of how much of a different place I am. I am totally blessed. I wake up every day and I'm thanking God for just another day, and I'm just so grateful from where he brought me out of. I want to bring you guys along with me on my spiritual journey and just continue to show you how God is working in my life and how I'm learning so much just about everything. And so my goal is to really just start kind of like my spiritual vlog series. I kind of want to also just kind of do like a self-care vlog series, and just and spreading the importance of self-love and how you really need to pour into yourself before you can pour into anybody else. You can't pour an empty glass into something else. You can't give to other people if you're not receiving yourself, if you're not putting things back into yourself. And that's the thing with me, is like, well, I'll give and not necessarily realize that I need to be giving to myself and resetting on myself so then I can be there for other people. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I really enjoyed sharing my story, sharing my truth with you guys, and I'm really looking forward to just continuing on this journey, and we can go on this journey together and we can grow together. And I'm just so grateful, and I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you like, you comment, and you subscribe. Hit the red button down there, and then a bell will pop up so then you're notified every single time I post a video, because I'm sure you don't want to miss out. Follow me on all of my social media. They're linked in the description box below, so we can connect and stay connected outside of YouTube. I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Mwah. Bye.